Have you ever wanted to see your drawings literally leap off the page? Today we're diving into Procreate Dreams to bring this little tea bag to life. As he takes a steamy plunge, get ready to learn how to animate smooth jumps, fun character expressions, and maybe even a little splash action. So let's get brewing. Alright, let's move on over to Procreate and I'll show you what I've got going on here. So I've got my scene set up. I'll show you all the layers that I have. I've got my background and this kind of horizontal line right there. That's going to be the horizon mark, I guess. And then I've got the shadow on that background because it's not going to change. I've got the little sugar cubes on a separate layer, but they're not going to move. We could kind of just pinch them together. They'll be fine. I've got one leg on one layer, another leg on another layer, but they're probably going to be moving. But the reason I did that is because one is in front of the cup and the other one is in back of the cup. So that's why I did that. But hopefully we'll be able to animate those and they'll be pretty much together. I've got the eyes on a different layer because they're going to change. I've got the cup on a different layer, and I've got our little tea bag here on another layer, and then I've got this little string, and that little piece of paper there on the end is on its own layer too. Alright, so that's all the layers I've got. If you are interested in getting these, they are over on the Patreon. It is $5 a month and you can get all of the assets for both of my YouTube websites. So I'll put a link to it on the screen right now. And let's move on over into Procreate Dreams now. Alright, so we're going to start a new file by clicking on the plus right here in the top right corner. I like to start off with a widescreen, but you can scroll through here all of the layers that you want. I always just stick with HD, and we're going to put that at empty. Okay, here we are. The first thing I want to do is click on the title here, which is Dreams 55. So we're going to change the frames per second to 12, and the duration, it's probably only going to be about 10 seconds maybe. And if you click on that 1 minute mark right there and hit the backspace, that'll get rid of that. So here we are at 12 frames per second, 10-second animation, 1920 by 1080, and we can hit done and we're ready to go. Now we need to move our Procreate files over into Procreate Dreams, and I'll show you how we do that, or how I like to do it anyways. So I'm going to go over back into Procreate. We're going to get into gallery view here, and then just put your finger on it until you can move it around. Don't pick your finger up. Get out of that, go into Dreams, and then drop it right in there just like that. Okay, and then you can move it around where it fits. Luckily this time we have a white background, so it's gonna match up pretty good now. But if you had something that wouldn't match up, you gotta do is just resize it, grab that corner and pull it out just a little bit, and then you can put it in there just like you want it. So because when the file that you're put it in there and then the background is the same size, it's kind of hard sometimes to get it exactly in there and not have any space on the left or the right or the top or the bottom. So just resize it a bit and you should be good to go. Alright, so now we have this picture file here. If we push play, nothing happens because it is not animated yet. So we need to do that. So how you do that is you hold down, long press on your file here, and we need to convert the layers to tracks. Okay, and now you can see, if I make this a little bit bigger here, it's created a group for us now. To open up that group, click on that little arrow right there, and then you will see all of the layers that we had over in Procreate. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to animate that string right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the layer that has that string on it, and I've got them labeled. So I've got a group here. I've got that little paper tag and the string on separate layers because I'm going to do something with that later on. But right now we can just animate them probably together. How am I going to do this now so I don't have to redraw them each time? Let me see. I might not be able to do it actually. So we might have to redraw this string one time and then do the rest later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing set on the screen a little bit before it does anything. So maybe 0.9 seconds right there. Alright, and then this is where our animation is going to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that little clock. I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to split it. All right, and then what I'm going to do is with that string right there, I'm going to delete this right side. So after that frame right there, there's nothing going to be there. So this is where we need to start drawing it in. So what I want that string to do is I want it to change up. So we're going to go in the drawing mode here, which is if you click on the little squiggly line right there, that opens up the drawing mode. And that string is going to be black. So we need to choose a black color, which right down there should be fine. And then our drawing is on a monoline brush, which that's fine. That's what I made it with. All right, and then you can see the onion skin right there of where the string was at previous frame. All right, so this frame right here is going to change up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that. All right, and what it's going to do, I'm going to have this thing drop down just a bit, not that much. So I'm just going to make it drop down a bit. And then what I can do with that paper there is go up to where that paper's at, and then we can initially click on it and hit a move and move in scale, and that will set its original position there. And then when that string drops down right there, we can make a new keyframe by clicking on it and then maybe moving it down to where that matches. So then you can see they move together. So I think that'll be a little bit easier to do it that way. All right, and now for our next frame, we're going to have it drop down just a little bit more. So we're going to draw a new string. So going back in the drawing mode. I'm going to have it drop down just a little bit more. And then what we need to do is we need to go to our little paper frame right there, and then we'll set another move and scale frame, and then we'll just move that paper down a little bit more so you can see it swings down a bit more. Okay, and then on this frame here, I want to change his eyes too. You know what? I didn't put the tea bag's eyes on another layer, so we're going to have to fix that. So what we're going to do is that frame right there, we're going to click on it, hit edit, and split it. So before, and then this one right here. Now we can do what we did before. We're going to go back to white, and we're going to paint over those eyes. So what that does is it changes after the split, and then before the split's going to stay like it is. So it's going to have those. And then this frame right here, we're going to change to black, and we're going to do those two little slits like that. Okay, so like that. That's good. That's what we wanted. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, so that tea bag is going to drop down on the string a little bit more. So let me go to where that was at, and that was this one right here. So we're going to draw that string again. All right, and then we need to go up here to where the paper part's at, and we need to move and scale him. Oh, I'm still in drawing mode. That's what the problem was. So you need to get out of that. I was wondering why is it not moving? All right, and then we'll just move that. And you know what? Actually, we could probably rotate it a bit. So I'm going to rotate it a bit. All right, so boop, boop, boop. All right. Okay, and this frame, his eyes are going to open back up. So that was a blink. So there, and then that frame right there, we're going to edit and split it again. And then on this one right here, what we can do is, let me see. Trying to think how I can do this to where they'll look the same, but probably will be okay. I'm going to go back in the drawing mode, go into white again, and then we're going to draw over these eyes. I'm going to change it to black, and then we're just going to do to like that we had it. So he just blinks, boop, and then back to normal. Okay. All right, next frame. So that tea bag is going to come down a little bit more. So I'm going to go back up to the string. We're already in drawing mode. We're already on black. Okay. So that's what we wanted. And then we need to go to that paper part, which is right there. And then we need to click on him, and we're still in drawing mode. Don't forget to turn off drawing mode, kids. All right, and then maybe I'm going to rotate that a bit more. All right. There we go. Okay, next frame. All right. Now we need to go back to where that string's at, and this time back in the drawing mode. All right, this guy's gonna be kind of hanging straight down almost now. And we're going to rotate it where it's almost like hanging down straight now. Okay. Okay, next frame. I'm going to move it just a little bit more. So again, drawing mode. Okay, out of drawing mode, up to the little paper thing. And then we need to move him. So I got him on top of the cup, so we don't want it to overlap that cup. We're going to do it about right there. And I think that's going to be it for that part. All right, and we're going to let him stay just like that for one frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it. So that will be one frame that stays the same. So those two frames stay the same and the paper doesn't move, so we're going to just leave it right there. All right, and now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move our cup. So our cup, that's a leg. This is our cup. What I need to do is I want him to scrunch down a bit. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe do a warp on him. Let's see if that will work. So two frames, so right here, this frame here, I'm going to click on it and hit move and maybe warp, I think. All right, so let's see what we can do with this warp. So we're gonna set that main keyframe. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in front of that warp, and we're just gonna set another one like that, and then this one right here we're gonna move. So I want it to kind of scrunch down. So like that, and maybe. So if you're enjoying the content, I have a small favor to ask that makes a huge difference. Subscribing to my channel is like giving a virtual high five, and it means the world to me. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just supporting the channel, you're joining an incredible community of awesome people who love art just as much as you do. Imagine being part of something bigger where every view, like, and comment helps us grow and reach more awesome folks just like you. Plus, subscribing is super easy. It's just one click, but that one click has a ripple effect, helping me create more content, bringing new ideas to life, and spreading positivity all around. And hey, in the spirit of kindness, how about this? Subscribe and then go out and do something nice for someone today. Hold the door open for a stranger, leave a kind note for a coworker, or simply smile at someone who looks like they need it. Let's make the world a bit brighter together. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's make amazing things happen. Thank you for your support. You're the reason this channel exists. like that. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. So just about like that, not much. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have his eyes change. So when it scrunches down like that, we're going to have his eyes. We're going to edit and split that. And then these eyes are right here. We're going to change them up. So what I want to do is, I think I'm going to slide it over because I want to keep those eyes maybe like that. But right here, I'm going to draw in some new eyes. So we're going to go into drawing mode. We're already on black on drawing. We can see where the eyes were at before. We're just going to make them squint like that. Just like that. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, and then we're going to have the cup like go back to its original form. So from, oh, there it is. Maybe that's strange. All right, so it didn't show because I was in drawing mode. All right, so scrunch down like that. All right, and then maybe 2 frames over, I think. I'm going to have him go back up to its original position. So maybe you back up like that, and you back out like that. And then this one here, I'm going to have him go back up to normal. No. I think that's close enough. Yeah. Okay, and then when he goes back up, he's going to keep those squinted eyes. So what I'm going to do is just going to hold down on it. There we go. And duplicate it. And I'm going to duplicate it one more time. So until it goes back up to its original position. And then the eyes are going to go back to normal. So now I'm just going to slide that over to where it pops back up to normal. Okay. So we got our string. We got a problem with it. So we need to do something about our string. I think I'm just going to duplicate it, actually. Duplicate, duplicate. All right, and then one more time. Till he pops back up and his eyes open up all the way. That's good. All right. And now we're just going to let everything stay just like it is. So let me duplicate that string a couple more times. All right. Everybody stays like he is. All right. And then this one right here, the tea bag is going to start to move. So that's this guy right here. And what he's going to do is he is going to kind of crouch a bit. And we're going to leave that string like it is. So we're going to duplicate it again. And then this frame right here, we're going to have this move. And we're going to warp it. All right. And then we're going to edit, split it. All right. And now this one will change. Move, warp. All right. And then we're going to have it, remember, this middle part come in and the outside is going to stay out. And you're going to crouch it down. Maybe we'll have that top part come down too some. No, not. You got to be careful where you grab it. I think that's good. And then our string, let's duplicate him again. I think we're going to have to move that string. Let's see, maybe we'll draw it. Just like that. And we need to draw that one too. Here we go. Okay, he crunches down. He's fixing to make a leap. Alright, and then our string is going to start coming back up. Maybe right there. So you go down to the T-bag here. And move and scale. I think I wasn't on the T-bag. Alright, let me undo that. Delete that keyframe. This one up here. So right there. Move him back up. There we go. So the reason that it's moving up slowly like that is because we've got that big gap in there. So what I need to do is I need to delete that keyframe we just put in there, and we need to set another one right here and not move it at all. And then when we move this one, it'll suddenly move up. So what it was doing, it was going starting from there and going to here, so it's slowly moving up. So we just need to set that not moving one and then up there. Okay, our little tea bag now is going to be kind of folded in half almost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw it completely because he's going to change terribly. So this frame right here, I didn't want to do that. Delete that keyframe. So this frame right here, we're going to make sure it's up there on the main track. This one. No. Up there. Right there, where the clacker. And we're going to edit and split it. Alright, and this guy right here, we're going to slide him down. And we're going to draw him. So we go in the drawing mode. And then he's going to be basically folded in half. So it's going to look just about like that. Alright, and then we need to color him in, so I'm going to choose that color right there. And let me get in here and what happened? I'm going to 3-finger that back in. Alright. And this is all on the same layer, so we got to be really careful about not going over our black lines too much. It's going to be really quick, so I think any imperfections are not going to be seen very well. Alright, and that right there is just good enough. Alright, so now we need to put our string in and go into black. Connect him. Okay, so there, that's what we wanted. Okay, so our little string is going to, let's duplicate our little squashed tea bag. And then our string is going to oops. About like that, and then we're going to go up here to where our paper part is. We're going to have him in drawing mode. Always when things are not moving, you got to be in drawing mode, I know. Alright, we're going to have him come up to there. That looks good. Okay, next frame. Our little tea bag's gonna jump. Alright, so we need to draw him again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down to here. I'm gonna go over to that frame right there. And I'm gonna go in the drawing mode. Okay, and he's gonna be kind of long, stretched out. as if he's jumping up in the air. And then that white part, just like that. His eyes are going to be kind of stretched. Alright, let's see if we can do a fill. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but we'll try it. Did not work. Oh, it did work. It just had a delay on it. Okay. That'll make things easier. And then we'll go to white and color in his face there. So that's it. That's what we wanted. And then we need to draw a couple of legs. So, right there and right there. And then we need to connect our string. Right there. I think I did on the wrong layer. Yeah, I did. Alright, so go up to the string layer. And we're going to move that guy up like this. And then we're going to go to the paper part. And we're going to get out of drawing mode. Move that paper there. I'm going to rotate it a bit. Okay. So he jumps. The paper moves too. Okay, next frame. I'm going to go back down to our teabag here. We need to redraw him. So I'm going to drawing mode. Alright, and now he's going to kind of shrink again because he's, after he's stretched out with that big jump, now he's going to be kind of compressed. So we're going to keep him the same height. But he's going to be much shorter now. Like that. And then his legs, we'll have them moving over that way. And then what we'll do is we'll have this like that. His eyes like that. Alright, and then let's color everything in. So we'll click that brown color and drop it in there. Give it a second. Is it going to change? Yeah, there it goes. And then we'll go to white and drop it in his face. Oh, that big delay. It's crazy. Alright, and then we're going to go up to our string. We're going to go back to black and we're going to draw that string in. We're going to have it whipping up now. Right there. Then go up to it. We're going to have him move up to there. Maybe we'll rotate it a bit. Okay. And the next frame. Alright, we're going to have that guy move up just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate him. Duplicate him, and then we're just going to move him up. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a move and scale, and he's going to come up a little bit higher. So he just jumps up just a little bit. And then we need to move that string again. So we're going to draw it in. Okay, and then we're going to go up to the paper part, and we're going to get out of drawing mode. Move that thing up. Maybe we'll rotate a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Yep, that's good. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's see next. Okay, we're going to let everything stay like that. We're going to kind of pause him. So I'm going to duplicate that. And duplicate the string. Now everything should be staying one frame. Yep. Alright, next frame. So he's going to start falling now. So we need to go back to our teabag. I'm going to slide that thing over a bit so we can have this space right here to draw. I'm going to go into drawing mode. So we're still at black. So he's going to be stretched out now, but he's going to be moving over towards the top of the cup now. So we're going to have him just like that. And then two little legs. That part. Okay, let's drop our colors in. Oh, I did it fast that time. And then our white into the face. But this one's not fast. We'll go up to our string and to draw it in. So make sure you got black chosen. Okay, and it's gonna be flipping around like that. And then we're gonna take this, get our drawing mode. We're going to move him all the way up over there. Maybe rotate him some more. See what that looks like. Boom. Yep, that's good. Okay, next frame. We're going to draw him again. Go into drawing mode. We're in black. And he is going to be almost going into the tea now. Or the hot water. Just like that. I'm going to close him up. And then we're going to draw that face part. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to fill in these colors. It seems like when you move to something, it'll fill it in when it's paused. Like, I don't know why. And then the face. So just move it and it fills it in. Alright, then I'm going to draw the black eyes. Just like that. And then we need to connect our string. We'll go up to the string layer. I'm going to draw the string. And then we're going to go up to our little paper thing. Turn off drawing mode, and we're going to have that paper connect, and then maybe we'll rotate it some too. Alright, he's almost in the T now. Okay, the next frame we're going to move that guy over, so we'll have some space here. We're going to draw some more. Alright, now we're going to draw it a little bit shorter. And then we'll draw that white part like that. The face is gone, going to be gone this round. Put in our color there. That was not good. Oh, I didn't close it off. All right. Let's see. Let me back up. Go back into the black. We need to close that shape for it to fill in. That should be good. Now we'll choose that yellow, fill that guy in. Okay, and then we'll choose a white, fill the face in. Alright, that's good. And then we need to do our strings. Go up to the string layer. And I need to make sure I'm black. There we go. Okay, and that paper is going to be really flipping up now. Go up to the paper layer. Make sure we're not in drawing mode. And move that paper up here, and of course we're going to rotate it up. Just like that. There we go. Alright, looking good, guys. I know this is tedious, but hopefully the end result's going to look really cool. So we're going to go back down to our tea bag again. We're going to go in the drawing mode, and now that guy's going to start disappearing, kind of. So I'm going to be like that, and make sure we close it off. Do that again. want it to remain right on that rim of that cup so you can't really see it. And then the white part, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to choose our yellow color here. Drop it in. And then our white color is that little bitty piece right there. Just like that. And then we need to do our string. So go up to our string layer. Make sure on black. Okay, and then we're going to go up to our paper. Out of drawing mode. Make it come down. There we go. Okay, next, go back down to your tea bag here. We're going to draw it again. Now he's almost going to be gone. No white part this time. Drop our gold in there. And then go up to our string layer. Make sure you're on black. Okay, and then we're going to do that. Go up to the paper mode. Out of drawing mode. There we go. Okay, next frame. Alright, so we're going to have our cup scrunched down again this time. And I think, yeah, a lot of things are going to be moving on this frame. So what we're going to do is, let's move our cup first. So we'll go to the cup layer, which is right here. Alright. And I'm going to move that tea bag, slide that over. I'm just keeping it just in case we need it. So right this frame right there where it disappears, we're going to have the cup, which is right here. We're going to set an initial move and a warp, and it's going to stay just like it is. And then we're going to come over one right here. And this is where it's going to come down. So we're going to just kind of shrink it. See if I can do this. What I want it to do is just kind of all of it kind of shrink down. But maybe the bottom not. So I'm going to put that bottom back up. So maybe, don't want to move it. About like that. Alright, and now we're going to draw some splash. So I think I need to make a new, I'm going to make a new track on top of that cup, which I don't know why, but it put it somewhere way up there, which that's not where I need it. I need it right on top of that cup where I had it, which is right there. New track. There we go. Now it put it in the right place. Right there, we're going to draw. Go into drawing mode. We're going to click a brownish tea color. Maybe that right there. We're going to have a splash. Just like that. We're going to fill that in. Maybe. Yep. Left the line. I don't like that line, so I'm going to draw over that. Our string disappears. But you know what? We might want to have that paper kind of come down a bit. Okay. And then the splash is going to change a bit, so let's go down to that one right there. We go back in the drawing mode. We're still in our brown color, which is good. And kind of that shape. And then maybe back here, have another shape right there. Okay, and then I'm going to draw all around this blue to fill it in with brown. I probably can drop it in, see what happens. Yep, but we got that little line, so I'm going to cover all that up. You know what, I want my black outline to be back there, so I'm going to go back into black, and I'm going to outline this. I think I need my, well, that's pretty good, I guess. I'm going to outline this splash. Actually, like that, and then like that. And maybe write this one too. When I'm outlined. Okay, there's our next splash, and then our paper. Get out of drawing mode, and we need to go up to our paper. Right, I think here. Have it coming down more. Yep. Okay, our next frame. Splash is going to change up some more, so we're going to go back down to the splash. Go into drawing mode. I'm going to start off with the black this time. We're going to have it splashing way over here now. Connect it so we can fill it in. And then we're going to do another one right there. Alright, and then let's go back into our brown color. Should be in your history. Drop him in, drop the other one in. There we go. And then maybe our paper is going to move a little bit more. So let's go back up to our paper. And let's move him. It's drawing mode. There we go. You remember when the cup moved down like right there? We want to change those eyes. Right there. So you're going to split it right there. And then we're going to take those eyes and slide them down. Go into drawing mode and make sure we're on black because that's the color of the eyes. And we're going to make them squint. Just like that. And they're going to stay like that. So actually we could just stretch it out. So instead of having to duplicate it each time, just stretch it out. It's going to be like that. At least right here. Okay, we're going to have some more. Splash going to change up some more. Just like that. And let's see. We're going to have another one coming up right here. And then back here we're going to have another one. Just like that. Alright, let's go to our brown color here. Fill him all in. Fill in that guy. And then that guy. There we go. Okay, and then our paper. He's still floating down. We're in drawing mode. I'm going to rotate it a bit. There we go. Okay, next frame. Our splash is almost done. So we're going to go in the drawing mode again, make sure we're on black. And then there's going to be this. Nah, I don't like that. Just can't go any smaller with my brush. That's good. Then we're going to make a little circle there. Okay, to our brown, we're going to fill that in. We're going to fill that part in. Fill that part in. Fill that part in. Okay. And then our paper. We're going to start drifting over here. Alright, let's go to our T drop again. Drawing mode. That little circle is not going to move much. Maybe like that, and then I'm going to go into the black and outline it. Okay, and then up to our paper. Moving scale, and he's going to come here. Maybe rotate some more. Yep. And our eyes disappeared, so we need to... Where were our eyes? There we go. We're going to take the round ones and move them over. And then we're going to stretch out those squinty ones just a little bit more. So right there. And actually that blue part right there, we need to fix that. So we're going to go into our T section here. Maybe we can add it to the cup. Let's see if that will work. What I'm going to do is go to the cup and we're going to split it. Split it right there. Edit split. Alright, now let's see if I go into drawing mode. Well, that's weird. Looks like it's not going to let us because I've never had this work like that before. Usually it stays like the previous frame. I don't know why it pops back up. So what I'm going to do is in that T frame, we're going to go into drawing mode. We're going to go into our brown color. I'm going to try to be really careful and color this part right here brown. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so we really didn't need to split it, but that's fine. We'll just leave it like it is. All right, and then this little ball is going to move up a little bit more. So we're in our brown color again, so we're going to make it come up a bit. And then our black outline around it. Okay, and then our paper. Moving scale, and he's going to come over here. Okay. You know what? I think I need to... I'm going to stretch that. It changes back. Alright, I need to draw that brown part in right there again. Why did that ball move? Alright, we're going to go back into drawing mode and we're going to paint this. Oops, I'm in black. Change it to brown. Get out of drawing mode. Here we go. And actually, our little circle there needs to have a black outline around it. Here we go. Okay, back out of drawing mode. Here we go. I think that's good. And then our paper is going to move more. Okay. Alright, now we need to go back to where our cup scrunched down. When he scrunches down right there, we need to change those legs. So right here. So right before that, we're going to set a move and scale. And leave it just like it is. And then when he scrunches down, we're going to set another move and scale. And then we're going to click on those three little dots right there. And then we're going to edit our anchor point. We want the anchor point to be right over here on the right side because that's where it's going to rotate from. Okay, and then we're going to hit done. We're going to rotate that leg to go up like that. Alright, and then we need to do the other leg like that too. Where is the other leg? I think it's right there. So that frame right there. So we're going to, right before that, we're going to set a move and scale and leave it like it is. And then this one right here, we're going to move and scale. We need to set that anchor point again. Over to there. Done. And then we're going to rotate it up. Alright, that worked fine. Pew! Legs pop up. Alright, and then we're going to come right there. Maybe right here. The legs are going to start going back down. So we're going to hit a move and scale. I'm going to have it start to go back down. And we'll go to the other leg, which is right there. Move and scale. We'll have him rotate down. Okay, and then one more till it's back down to where it was at before. So maybe right here. Nope. There we go. And then the other leg right here. Move and scale. There we go. That's nice. Okay. And then I think our cup is going to start moving back up into its original position. So go to the cup. Right here. So that frame right there. We're going to do a warp again, and we're going to try to stretch him back up to where he was at before. Now this is going to mess up our splash, so we need to move our splash. So what I'm going to do is just go up to the splash here, and we're going to do a move and scale for him. Actually, we're going to move and scale, and leave it like it is, and this move and scale, we're going to move it up right there. Okay, and then the cup is going to move up more. Here to here. And then we're going to have him, nope. Trying to get him back in his original position. Which I think we're almost there, actually. Yeah, I think that's almost close enough. No. Yeah, I think you're not going to get much better than that. Okay, so that's good. So then we need to move our splash. So let's move and scale it. I'm going to move it up here. And then we'll move that one over to there. And then we'll move that one over to there. And we need to fix this one. So let's go in the drawing mode, and I'm going to go into the brown color again. We're just going to color that part in again. So you can see things are they're really easy to fix when you mess things up, especially when you're doing frame to frame. All you got to do is just like start coloring it in again, and then you can put your black outline back on it, and then everything's back to normal again. Just like that. And we got some little blacks in there. Looks like a little waves, which is good. Okay, and then what we're going to do is our cup's back in our original position. So what we're going to do is, for some reason right there, oh, okay, we had split it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that guy out of the way. And we're going to stretch this cup because he's back to where we wanted him at. So we're going to have to move that splash, move it up to here. I'm going to have to color that in again. Go into drawing mode, make sure we're on brown. Oops. Again, it's just one frame, so it doesn't have to be that perfect. And we're going to black again to get that outline. Just like that. Okay. And then this frame, move that guy up to there. And again, go into our brown and color all that in. And then black for the outline. Good. And I think we're almost there now. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to leave that little splash there, and we're just going to do this paper until it floats from here to there. Did it not move? It's not putting in keyframes. Alright, I think he's going to stop right there. Alright, so we got some troubles here. Let's get this guy out of the way. So we'll slide him over some more. Okay, and then we got some troubles right there. So I think right here we're going to change the cup layer right there. So let's make sure we're on the cup, which is right there. And then when he turns blue again, let's split that. And then this part right here, let's color that in brown. Go into drawing mode, choose brown. Color all this blue. We'll have to do a black outline on this one. Fit just perfect. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, I think we're almost ready to I think his eyes are going to open back up. So maybe let's color in the brown one more time on that guy. And then it's going to stay like that for the rest, because it's not split anymore. Alright, so yeah, that's going to stay now. Alright, and then I want his eyes to open back up. So I'm going to take those eyes. We're going to take them and we're going to put them back. And then right here, they're going to open back up. So we'll just use that, what we already have. And they're going to open back up. Okay, now our cup is, oh, we're in drawing mode. That's why it's doing that. And why is our cup doing that? Alright, I'm going to delete that cup. I'm going to take this cup and I'm going to stretch it out so it don't move. She's just going to open his eyes again. Okay? And then our little ball of tea that was floating in the air, he is still going to be there, but he's going to start dropping down. So we're on the brown already, so we're just going to do it right over that teacup. I'm going to make that bigger so we can see what we're doing here. And then choose a black color to outline it. Just like that. Okay, and then one over. And it's going to go down a little bit more. Choose the brown to color it in. Alright, and then the next one is going to disappear. And our paper is already come to a stop. So I think that does it. And that animation turned out to be only about 4 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our title again. We're going to go to our duration. And we're going to change that duration to 4 seconds and hit done. And then that should be the end of our animation. So guys, I know that was kind of a long process to do this, but when you're doing frame by frame, it does take a long time. It's a very tedious process. So if you put the work in, you're gonna have a really cool animation. So I'll leave the animation at the end of the video so you can check out the final product. I hope this has helped you out. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. It helps the channel out so much. And YouTube tells me that only about 15% of the people that watch the videos are subscribed, while the other large number are not subscribed. So please do that. It helps the channel out. It's free for you. No big deal. And I will see you guys next week for another Procreate or Procreate Dreams tutorial. Take care.